हेलो एवरीवन, गुड इवनिंग। और रेडियो उड़ान और सारथी की ओर से आपका एक बार फिर से बहुत बहुत स्वागत हमारी दूसरी उड़ान बैठक में। जनरली इस सीरीज में जैसा आप जानते हैं कि हम फोकस करते हैं कि कैसे प्राइवेट सेक्टर या कॉरपोरेट सेक्टर में आप लोग जॉब हासिल कर सकते हैं, कैसे आपको इंटरव्यू के लिए अप्रोच करना है, कैसे आपको अप्लाई करना है, किस तरह की टेक्निक होनी चाहिए, किस तरह के कोर्सेज आप किस तरह के कोर्सेज आपको करने चाहिए, किस तरह से आपको प्रेपरेशन करनी चाहिए। तो उस कड़ी में हमारा ये आज दूसरा वेबिनार है या उड़ान बैठक है। तो आज हमारा जो टॉपिक है वो कैसे किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस आपसे पूछे जाते हैं इंटरव्यू में, कैसे उन इंटरव्यूज के जो क्वेश्चंस हैं उनको टैकल करना है, क्या डूज एंड डोंट्स है जब हम इंटरव्यू के लिए जाते हैं। तो इस पे डिटेल्ड बात करेंगे। हमारे साथ हमारी टीम से लोग हैं। सारथी के फाउंडर हैं हमारे साथ, सारथी की टीम है हमारे साथ। ऋचा जी हैं, अदिति हैं, अंशु हैं, सिंघवी जी हैं और आप सभी लोग तो है ही। तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम चाहते हैं कि आप इसका बेनिफिट उठाएं। जो लोग यहाँ पे आए हैं तो उनको तो बेनिफिट होगा ही, और ये हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल पर भी रहेगा। तो बाद में भी आप अपने दोस्तों को कह सकते हैं कि आप इसको सुने, समझे और लोगों तक पहुंचाएं। ज्यादा बेनिफिट तो यही है कि जब भी ये बैठक होती है आप लोग ज्वाइन करें, ताकि आपको फर्स्ट हैंड एक्सपीरियंस मिल सके। तो साइन लैंग्वेज इंटरप्रेटर भी हैं हमारे साथ। एक बार फिर से आप सभी का स्वागत। शुरू करते हैं। ऋचा मैम है हमारे साथ। ऋचा जी, बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका। आपके ओपनिंग रिमार्क्स।
थैंक यू सो मच दानिश। आप हमेशा जब भी कुछ नया हम लोग बात करना चाहते हैं और लोगों के साथ शेयर करना चाहते हैं, आप हमेशा आगे आए हैं। थैंक यू सो मच रेडियो उड़ान फॉर डूइंग दैट. I think one of the reasons what we have observed when we speak with people is that they are extremely hesitant and confused कि अगर वो किसी कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में इंटरव्यू के लिए जाएंगे तो उनसे क्या पूछा जाएगा. वी ऑल्सो ऑब्जर्व दैट पीपल आर फेयरली कॉन्फिडेंट अदरवाइज. उनको अपना सब्जेक्ट पता है, उनको अपनी कॉम्पिटेंसी पता है, वो अच्छी खासी एजुकेशनल बैकग्राउंड के साथ भी आते हैं. बट कई बारी क्योंकि एक सर्टन तरीके का एक्सपोजर नहीं होता, तो उसके चलते जब वो इंटरव्यू के लिए जाते हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं वो कमी आ जाती है उसमें. हम लोग सारथी की तरफ से पिछले 7 सालों में हम लोगों ने खुद से बहुत सारे लोगों को हायर किया है. हम लोगों ने अपने ही लिए नहीं बल्कि बाकी कॉर्पोरेट्स के लिए भी काफी लोगों को हम जॉब्स दिलाने की कोशिश करते हैं. और इन सब के कारण की वजह से हमें एक सर्टेन एक्सपीरियंस हो गया है. हमें समझ में आने लगा है कि किस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस में लोग स्ट्रगल करते हैं. हमें ये भी पता चल गया है कि किस तरीके की प्रिपरेशन के साथ अगर लोग जाएं तो उनके चांसेस बेटर हो जाते हैं. एंड ये जो हम आज का कॉन्वर्सेशन ड्राइव करेंगे, अंशुल हैं हमारी टीम से, अदिति हैं, ये दोनों ही हमारे एचआर टीम से हैं. हम इसलिए इनको लाए हैं क्योंकि ये लोग ऑलरेडी बहुत कैंडिडेट से खुद बात करते हैं, और क्योंकि ये एक कॉर्पोरेट के नजरिए से इवैल्यूएट करते हैं. आपको इनसे कोई भी सवाल अगर आपको पूछना है, प्लीज बिना किसी झिझक के पूछिए. ये अपनी कोशिश से जितना हो सकेगा आपको गाइड करेंगे, आपकी हेल्प करेंगे. हो सकता है कुछ सवालों के जवाब इनके पास ना हो, लेकिन आप फिर भी पूछिएगा क्योंकि वो सवाल फिर हम रखेंगे अपने पास और हम वापस लेकर आएंगे उसका जवाब आपको. कोई चैट के माध्यम से अगर हमसे बात करना चाहता है, प्लीज चैट करिए. हमारी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है इसके अंदर, अनुज्ञा हैंडल कर रही है, वो आपके चैट के माध्यम से आपका डिटेल्स रख लेंगी. अपना ईमेल आईडी, अपना फोन नंबर वहां छोड़ना मत भूलिएगा. अगर कोई ऐसा सवाल है जो यहाँ एड्रेस नहीं हो रहा है, हम खुद वापस आएंगे और आपको उस सवाल का जवाब देने की पूरी पूरी कोशिश करेंगे. ऑन दैट नोट आई वुड ओपन दिस अप with Anshul and Aditi. Anshul and Aditi, over to you.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Okay, so a very warm good evening, everyone. I am so glad that we all are gathered here. So this session is primarily about telling how to, one can appear in an interview. What are the do's and don'ts of interview? How to present yourself in the best possible way when it comes to interview. Okay, so to begin with, me and my colleague Aditi will going to present two kind of scenarios in front of you all. So in the very first scenario, I think I should go bilingual, Aditi, okay? So जो very first scenario होगा उसमें मैं as a candidate appear होऊंगा and Aditi will be playing the role of hiring manager. Once we are done with that session, I will open the floor for your observations कि आपने क्या observe किया and what are your feedbacks. So shall we start, Aditi?
Okay, so I just wanted to take a note, give a note to everyone that giving interview is a type of art. Everything has some learnings along the way. So even if you're getting rejected at one interview is not an end in itself. It is just a part of learning, and you should just each and every time you are giving an interview, you just have to keep analyzing what is it that you could have done better. Okay, so on this note, I would just start with how we have to proceed further. So in the first scenario, Anshul, how we are going?
I am going to play a role of candidate appearing for the
Okay.
interview, and you will be hiring manager for the scene.
Oh, fine.
What is the job
So-
role? Please describe for which you are interviewing.
Okay, so for the time being, I am appearing for the role of HR. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, hi Anshul.
Hi, ma'am. Very good evening.
Good evening. So, Anshul, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Ma'am, myself is Anshul. My hobbies are playing cricket, listening to music, and I am also passionate about watches. So collecting them is my hobby. As far as my education is concerned, I have done graduation and I'm currently pursuing my master's. This is all about me. Thank you.
Okay, Anshul, so you mentioned that your favorite hobby is one of the hobbies is cricket. So, who is your favorite cricketer?
I would say Sachin Tendulkar.
Okay, so what you love about him?
The kind of zeal he has, I'm not sure. I like him. He's good. He's my role model, I would say.
Okay, all right. So, Anshul, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years. Next 5 years, I don't know. Like next 5 years, I see myself
What is
being
your vision about yourself in next 5 years?
I want to, fetch good amount of experience, I would say.
Okay, and experience in what field?
Experience in the field of HR, I would say.
Okay, so is there any formal training that you're doing for it?
No, ma'am, I am an absolute fresher. So no training, nothing.
Okay. So are you self-training yourself in any way?
Ma'am, I don't know what to say. Like, not exactly, not really.
Okay. So can you tell me any two of your strengths and any two of your weaknesses?
My strength is I am a good listener and I have good.
I'm sorry, can you go again?
I would say I am having, as far as my strengths are being concerned, I have good listening capacity. And weakness, I would say nervousness.
All right. So if your weakness is nervousness, supposedly if you're talking to one of our heads in our organization, uh, don't you think it will be difficult for you to express yourself?
Yes, ma'am. It will be difficult for me to communicate, but I will manage somehow.
So are you doing anything to cater to your nervousness?
Not now, not right now, but once I'll get the job, I will surely do something about it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And why do you want to work with us?
Because I want a job. I want to be financially independent, and your company is good. I feel to at least begin my career. So I feel I would want to work with your company.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Anshul. I
Thank
shall get back to you if we
Thank
have
you, ma'am.
anything.
Thank you
you.
so much, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so that's the end of first scenario. Now I would like to open the floor for your observations or whatsoever feedbacks do you have from this very first scenario. So, who's going to
So
go
do
first?
you have anything, do you feel anything that went wrong in the interview? Do you feel anything that should have been, that should not, this is not how the interview should have gone? Something like, any feedback?
Hello.
First of all, yeah,
Hello.
I am
Am I
Pranshu here.
audible?
एक एक करके एक
It's
अपना
one
पहले
by one.
नाम ले।
It's one by
हाँ, अपना नाम लीजिए और उसके बाद
Yes, Farhan
प्लीज।
Sheikh here.
Hanji,
So,
one by
Yeah,
one.
so I have observed that you are so low of confidence. You're
Mhm.
saying too much time. You don't show the confidence, the flow, which has to be there.
Mhm.
That is, it is too much low.
Yeah,
If you
yeah, yeah.
speak like this, then other will slip.
Mhm. Very well put
So
up.
yeah, so that's when I want to say.
Yeah, very well put up.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
yes, Deepak.
Yeah, hi. My name is Deepak. I would say first of all thanks for this role play. Like you have done very nice interpreted the nervousness. So
Mhm.
first one is rightly mentioned that the confidence was very low, and
Mhm.
the one point is that the intro was not up to the mark.
Exactly, very
Because
well.
you start she asked what about tell us about yourself, but you started with the hobbies. I believe that should not be the right first point. The hobbies and these things should come later.
Mhm.
Other first your qualification, where are you from, these should be
Yeah,
the right approach. And in
yes.
case you have any experience, but like here you were fresher,
Mhm.
so but you could have mentioned the qualification and name and where are you from first. And
Yeah.
the question was asked where do you see yourself in 5 years. And
Mhm.
so when we are going in the interview, we should be totally prepared, like
Exactly.
what we are looking from that opportunity, and what in that role what we will be doing once we are hired.
Yes.
And mm, yeah, right now I can recall this one, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have
Deepak,
highlighted
very well
it.
put up.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, am I
Anyone
audible?
else?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Ribanlingda. So, first of all, the observation that I had from the very first opening word itself for the interview, the word myself, I think it's not a right
Yeah.
word to use for the
Yeah.
introduction. The very opening word itself, myself, is not to be used over there. You can either use my name or I am and followed by
Yes.
your name. Yeah, and the whole introduction session, I think it went upside down because you should first start with your personal information, then follows by your qualification, academic qualifications, and your skills. I think throughout the interview session, all the questions, I think even if a fresher, if you have prepared for it, then it was not kind of difficult questions.
Yes.
You seemed hesitant and nervous throughout the interview session, and I mean, it appears to be not that you were not prepared. So yeah, that's how I observe. Thank you.
Very
Thank
well
you.
put up. Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, good evening. This is Padmavati from
Yeah.
Hyderabad.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for giving me an opportunity to introduce at first myself. Good evening to all. I'm observing in this session scenario. First, Aditi madam asking at first, tell me about yourself. Actually, we are introducing yourself like structure by name, from where are you from, qualification, other some experience or a fresher. These are all things. Okay, that is the I'm observing that structure is not well. And after what the question asking from interviewer, at first we are the thing we are analyzing. After we are preparing, the answer is fulfilled, and all things before we can maintain be confident. We remove the nervousness. When we have the nervousness, it automatically all answers going outside.
Yes.
So be perfect and be confident. That is my opinion in this session of observing. Uh, and all little some mistakes are there. Otherwise, all okay. Fine.
So you had a very good observation. Firstly, I would like to ask anyone else would want to go ahead and would want to share any other feedback or observation? No? Okay. So as far as the observation that we got, first is related to lack of preparation. I am not prepared. Very true. The interview that we have demonstrated, it clearly showcases lack of preparation. I am not even aware about company's mission and vision. When Aditi asked me, why do you want to work with us? I had no structured answer for that. For that, I should have, gone through the company's website thoroughly, in order to know their mission, vision, what goals they are into. Uh, Like in sort of preparation should be there, I would like to say. Apart from this, the introduction part, I had started with myself. Very well put up that, whenever you are introducing yourself, starting it from myself is very wrong, straight out wrong. You can go ahead, my name is, or I am. Okay, myself is a big no. Then there is a certain structure which you have to follow when it comes to introducing yourself. You have to introduce, like, you can start with, like, we will going to present the second scenario, then you will get more idea how should we go about it. Okay, so Aditi, shall we begin for the second, or do you want to add on something?
Okay.
Before
No,
going
no,
to
we can
second
go.
scenario,
So I just want to.
hold on.
Yes.
आप इसको ना जब एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हो तो कीप इट बायलिंगुअल, तो वो
Okay,
जो और भी
bilingual.
लिसन, हाँ, वो बाकी लोगों के लिए भी इजी
ठीक
होगा
है,
जो बाद
मैं
में भी
इसको
सुनेंगे.
बायलिंगुअल बोलता हूँ, तो मैं एक बारी दोबारा से इसको एक्सप्लेन करूँ.
आई थिंक आप जो सेकंड सिनेरियो करेंगे उसके बाद आप कवर कर लेना इसको साथ में.
ठीक
अभी
है,
चलते हैं
श्योर
सेकंड.
श्योर. Thank you, Danish. Okay, Aditi.
Okay. One more thing I
Hmm.
would like to put up here is whenever if an interviewer is asking you, starting with like Aditi, tell me something about yourself, then it is very obvious he knows your name. He does not need to know it again. So you can just start with your qualification, your experience, and whatever introduction you have to give for yourself, and then you can start. But if the interviewer starts with tell me something about yourself. Then you start with your name first. So this is a little twitch that comes with the interviewing. So yes, Anshul, on this note, we can start.
Start with the second scenario. Okay, so in the second scenario, दूसरा जो हम scenario present करेंगे आप सबके सामने. In that scenario, I am going to be the hiring manager and Aditi is going to be the candidate who's going to participate in the interview. Okay, so Aditi, we will start. Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so hi Aditi, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, Anshul. How are you doing?
I am also doing very well. Thanks for asking. So shall we start with the interview?
Yes, please.
Okay, so to begin with, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I am Aditi Bhaukhandi. I come from Dehradun. If you talk about my experience, I have 4 years of experience into HR operations. Coming down to education, I'm an MBA in HR. Talking about my hobbies and what I like to do is I really like cooking and I like painting. I like going out and seeing my friends. So these are some of the things that I really like.
Okay, so would you like to tell me what are your hobbies?
So as I told you, I love cooking
Mhm.
and I like to go out with my friends. And these are one or two of the hobbies which I enjoy the most.
And what are your strengths and weaknesses?
Okay, I would say my strength is that I'm very punctual. Okay, and I always strive for the best.
Mhm.
And my weakness is sometimes it happens that I procrastinate, but I am working on it since I'm not delaying anything and I'm keeping a very tight schedule for myself to work upon.
Okay, that's great to hear that. So where do you see yourself after 5 years?
Uh, 5 years is a very long period, Anshul, and I see what I see myself in next 5 years is obviously going up the corporate ladder, and I see myself working as a manager or anything above the managerial role that the company has to offer. Okay, I would want to assist at least more than 20 people under me. And I would obviously would like to upskill myself in the analytics in data analytics on HR. So these are some of the things that I would like to experiment myself in the next 5 years.
Okay, okay. So Aditi, please tell me, why should we hire you?
Uh, that's a very good question. So Anshul, I believe that Sarthi has a role and values of increasing the footprint of PWDs in the economy. And I believe I am one of the but I can be one of the contributor to it. I can give the right kind of resources to the company so that they can increase their footprint in the corporate world. Also, I believe my past experience can be leveraged into the same role, and I can be beneficial for the company.
Okay, Aditi, thanks for sharing. Okay, so since you mentioned you have around 4 years of experience, right? So could you,
I'm sorry, can you please get back to me?
am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so since Aditi, you have mentioned that you have around four years of experience, right?
Yes.
Okay, so could you tell me what were your roles and responsibilities in your previous role?
Okay, sure. So basically, Anshul, what I used to do was, it has been a long journey. So I started with the recruitments, where I was sourcing candidates for the company, and post that part, I started doing my operations work, where I was doing payroll, and I was also the head member of the entertainment committee in the organization. I was also taking care of the documentation and auditing. So these are the main roles and responsibilities, and which was divided into smaller responsibilities. So this was the heading that I would give you.
Okay, thank you so very much, Aditi, for your time. It was lovely talking with you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I certainly do. So, how would you rate my interview on a scale of 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, you are good to go. I will give you good 8 as far as my observations are being concerned.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, second question is, what are the qualities that you're looking in a candidate for this role?
Okay, so since we are hiring for the role of an HR, so of course, first and foremost, it goes without saying, we are looking someone who has at least 1 year of experience into this domain. Apart from this, we are looking for a candidate who is, who's passionate about his or her goals in order to, contribute towards our organization. Since we are hiring for this HR domain, we are also looking someone who is having good command over his or her communication skills. So these are the quite 1-2 parameters which we are dedicatedly looking forward to.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aditi. Have a nice day.
You too have a nice day.
Okay, so now the floor is open for the observations and feedbacks. Yeah,
Hello, sir. I have made observation
yeah, please.
that when you first greeted with each other, she directly take your name. But when we appear in front of an interviewer, I think we cannot know who is, or we can greet with us, sir, by not taking his directly name.
Okay.
Or another is that the answers are very structured and qualitative. This
Mm-hmm.
show that she comes with a full preparation and
Mm-hmm.
some training sessions before appearing for that interview.
Okay,
These all
yeah.
are my.
Great. Great observation. Anyone else?
Hello, hi, Deepak this side again.
Hi, Deepak.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, like observation is the same as the person said that she was like very well prepared and very confident. Okay. But furthermore, I had a couple of questions out of this, if I may ask.
Yeah, please
Uh,
go ahead.
Sure,
yeah.
go ahead.
So one is on the last segment when you asked her to if you have any question, and she asked two questions. So can we ask these questions because these were like, will the interviewer feel right to ask this question that how will you rate me in this interview? And the second one was, though that was not a bad question, the second one, that what quality you are looking for, but sometimes we can heard back the answer that we had you must have seen the job description before applying for this job, so we are looking for.
Okay. So
Okay. So Anshul, I would like to give that answer. So basically, Deepak, what happens is, if you ask a question back, it gives a very positive note to the interviewer. So he sees that you are actually interested in this job. Okay. First thing, it is not a bad habit or a bad practice to at least to ask the interviewer to tell about your performance in the interview. Okay, so you can easily go ahead and ask, maybe not in a rating kind of me, but in another kind of way, like how would you rate me, or how would you see myself if you hiring me somewhere, something like that. That how was my interview, you can say about that. On the second question, you can surely ask them that was what is the roles and not exactly what is the roles and responsibilities, that is what it comes in JD, but you can ask what is the expectations in the interview, in the job role, sorry. Yes. Yes. So
Sorry.
it might happen that in the job description, it is written that the person should have a recruitment background. Okay. But in the quality part, it should be written that the person has a good communication skill. So these are the two different things, okay? But it caters to the same job role, but these are the two different things, okay?
Okay. 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 Understood. Yeah. I mean, not
Farhan
specifically,
Sheikh,
but yeah. So
hello.
go ahead.
Yeah. So I would like to say here one thing. First of all, if we appear for interview, so first we say, "May I come in, sir or ma'am?" Directly he started. So first we have to, before greet, we say, "May I come in?" And then the interviewer
Yeah.
will say that, "Have a seat." Then we'll
Okay,
start.
so yeah, so as of now, we have been depicting virtual interview scenario, right? So there's no need
Okay.
of, asking for may I come in or not. We can just simply, start with, okay, so shall we begin? As I mentioned earlier, that, okay,
Okay.
Aditi, so if you're good to go, shall we begin with the interview? Then she mentioned yes. So that's how it goes. Okay, so when you're, appearing for an interview physically, of course, these are the, basic etiquettes which we have to
Yeah.
follow while we are presenting in physical interview. Yeah, so it goes without saying, if you are entering in a room, you should always ask that, may I come in, sir? May I come in, ma'am? If they allow you, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions, guys? We are here to answer all your questions in our, best possible manner and way.
Well prepared structure is very nice, and very responded is immediately. Deliver answer is very perfectly and fluently, and serial wise answer is very
Exactly.
positive. And
Yes.
asking questions are so last prepared questions. One of the most important. That structure is very nice.
Exactly. Exactly. Whenever you are like introducing yourself, the proper structure is very important, right? Because your introduction is, it's very initial. आप जो पहला अपना इंट्रोडक्शन देते हैं वो इंटरव्यूअर के ऊपर एक बहुत ही लॉन्ग लास्टिंग इंप्रेशन छोड़ के जाता है बिकॉज जब व्हेन यू आर गिविंग योर इंट्रोडक्शन इंटरव्यूअर विल असेस यू ऑन योर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स हाउ थॉटफुल यू आर एंड देयर इज वन मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग that I would like to highlight here. Whenever you are answering to any question, just take a 1 minute pause. Do not just just take a 1 minute pause, so it will give that impression to the interviewer that you have that thoughtfulness, you're giving thought, you're not just saying just for the sake of saying things. Okay, so that's how you can go about
Very
it.
speedily responded. What you're asking question is very speedily responded, Aditi.
No, that was, yeah, she could have
So,
taken.
so basically, this was a demo that was put up over here.
Yeah.
Okay, in a very different kind of scenario, when you have a very a formal interview going on, it is perfectly okay to take a pause. Okay, I would not I would not encourage you to take it more than 5 seconds. Just a 5 second pause, saying that in like portraying that you are trying to understand the exact question what it is, and you are giving a relevant answer to it. Okay, so it is not at all a bad practice in an interview to give a pause. Okay, I would like to say one thing about the hobbies here. हमको क्या करना होता है कि हमें वही हॉबी बोलनी चाहिए that if you have interest in it. Otherwise, like I said, cooking, ठीक है, cooking is one of those hobbies जिसमें आपको either if that person ask you a question तो आपको basic पता होगा, right? I will give you a real example. One of my known, she said this hobby that she has a cooking. It's like she likes cooking. The interviewer asked her how to make a khichdi. Okay, and this was a interview of SBI. Okay, and she explained it. Okay, so in either you have a real interest in a hobby, or otherwise you pick a hobby that you can easily explain if they give a question to you. If you say supposedly many people say that I like reading newspaper. Okay, the first question that the interviewer person can ask is, so what was the headline in newspaper today? Okay, and well, it is good that you have read and you say it, but it is, but if you go blank over there, then it shows that you are lying. Okay. So never give a chance to the to for an interviewer to think कि भाई आप झूठ बोल रहे हो. No, आप या तो ऐसी हॉबी बोलो जो एक्चुअल में इंटरेस्टेड हो और आपको उसके बारे में काफी कुछ पता है, या फिर आप ऐसी हॉबी बोलो जिसमें आपने एग्जैक्टली आपको बहुत ज्यादा एफर्ट्स ना लगाने पड़े. ठीक है.
Exactly. See, I would like to, tell you one scenario.
Anshul, you are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Hmm.
Yeah, so Isipe, I just want to, tell you one scenario. While I was giving interview and Aditi was taking my interview, when she asked me about my hobbies, I mentioned I love playing cricket. While I am at all not a cricket person, and when she asked me a follow-up question to that hobby, I got blank. She asked me who's the player, something like that, Aditi, right? The
What do
player
you
that
like
you
about
like.
the player?
Yeah. So I mentioned Sachin, and when she asked me what do you like like about Sachin, I was not having any clear answer to that question, which simply depicts that I was lying at that point of time, right? So whenever you are telling something about your hobbies, there must be a follow-up question that interviewer will ask, right? So always, list down those hobbies which you actually practice at your leisure time. Okay, so
Or
that's
give a list of those hobbies that does not need any effort. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can say that you love gardening. You can, like I said, love cooking. Okay, just going out with friends or doing listening random songs. Okay, you can say these kind of hobbies. Okay, so
Exactly.
this will not put a good question on you. Okay, and you will not come under the light. Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, I would like to mention something about strength and weaknesses. ठीक है. So आपको बहुत क्लैरिटी से अपनी दो स्ट्रेंथ और दो वीकनेस it must be thorough to you. ठीक है. आपको ये ध्यान करके जाना है जो आपने दो स्ट्रेंथ्स आपने चूज करी है अपने लिए, और वो स्ट्रेंथ चूज क्यों करी है. ओके. सपोजिटली आपने बोला मैं पंचुअल हूँ. ठीक है. और आप मीटिंग में लेट आ रहे हो. ओके. इट इज नॉट योर स्ट्रेंथ. आपने पहले ही दिखा दिया कि आप यू आर नॉट पंचुअल. ठीक है. सो आपको ये करना है कि आपने अपनी जो भी स्ट्रेंथ दिखाई है या फिर जो भी स्ट्रेंथ आप बोल रहे हो, आपको उस स्ट्रेंथ को जस्टिफाई करना है. ठीक है. मे बी इंटरव्यूअर ये आपको पूछ सकता है कि व्हाई इज दिस योर स्ट्रेंथ. अभी तो अंशुल डिड नॉट आस्क मी, बट व्हाई डू यू कंसिडर दिस एज योर स्ट्रेंथ. ठीक है. सेम एज वीकनेस. वीकनेस आप अपनी जो भी डिफाइन करोगे वो आपके जॉब रोल को कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नहीं करनी चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपने बोला आप एचआर रिक्रूटर का इंटरव्यू दे रहे हो या फिर आप किसी भी चीज का आप सपोजिटली आप कोई टेक्निकल इंटरव्यू दे रहे हो और आपने बोल दिया कि आई आई एम नॉट वेरी गुड विथ कंप्यूटर्स. ओके. और आप टेक्निकल इंटरव्यू दे रहे हो. ठीक है. सो इट इज अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. ठीक है. या फिर आपने एचआर का इंटरव्यू दे रहे हो और आपने बोल दिया आई डोंट लाइक टॉकिंग टू स्ट्रेंजर्स. आपका तो जॉब रोल ही वो होगा जो आपके स्ट्रेंजर्स से बात करना, राइट? सो आपको जो based on your job description and the position you are applying to, your weakness is defined on that. Okay. So her time, for every interview you have to prepare yourself for 1 to 3 times before the interview. And the weakness also should have a reason behind it. Reason plus it should not be conflicting to your job.
And what you are doing to, in order to overcome that. It's also very
Yes.
important, right?
Like I said, that I procrastinate, but I'm working on it by building a calendar. Okay.
Exactly.
So always have a reason behind what are you doing to overcome your weakness. It shows that you have willingness to
improve or
willingness to fight back. Okay. To fight back whatever is pulling you down. So have a
Exactly.
reason. अगर
And
आपको इंटरव्यू ने पूछा, पहले आप सिर्फ वीकनेस मेंशन करेंगे। अगर आप और अगर कुछ इंटरव्यू ने आपको कुछ वीकनेस से रिलेटेड पूछ लिया, बिकॉज देयर आर सिनारियोज कि आपने बोला कि दिस इज माय पर्टिकुलर वीकनेस, एंड आपको नेक्स्ट सिनारियो इंटरव्यू ने दे दिया कि जिसमें आपकी जो वीकनेस है उस वो आपके अगेंस्ट जा रही है। सो यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट दैट ऑल्सो, हाउ विल यू केटर टू दैट। आपको ये ट्रुथ रखना है कि वो आपकी वीकनेस भी है, बट यू आर ओवरकमिंग दैट वीकनेस टू। ठीक है।
exactly,
सो
yeah,
सिचुएशन रिएक्शन आई एम सॉरी सिचुएशन रिएक्शन, इसे बोलते हैं सिचुएशन रिएक्शन टेस्ट। ओके, सो आप एक सिचुएशन को कैसे रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, बट आप अपनी वीकनेस को भी कैसे ओवरकम कर रहे हैं। ऑलराइट।
yeah. And apart from this, whenever you are appearing for any sort of interview, okay, uh, reading the job description and going through the job description is very important. Apart from this, knowing about the company culture, what the mission and vision the company has, what kind of aim company has, you have to be well versed with that. Since Aditi ने मुझसे क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि why do you want to work with us, मेरे पास उस चीज का कोई आंसर ही नहीं था, क्योंकि शायद से मैंने कंपनी के बारे में कुछ पता ही नहीं था मुझे. But when I asked Aditi, why should we hire you? Or why do you want to work with us? She has clear and constructive answer for that. Since Sarathi is working towards transforming disability inclusion, which showcases that Aditi हमारी company की website पे गई है, she took that time, she took that effort, and that is the reason she was able to answer that question. So it's very important, right? Whenever you are applying for any interview, make sure आप उसकी company की website जाके देखें, उसका mission, vision, क्या job है, उसका title क्या है, what are the roles and responsibilities, in order to understand what are the expectations that they have from you. It's very important. Because अगर आप blank जाओगे, कुछ आंसर नहीं दे रहे हो वहां पे जाके, यू आर नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड, और इस शायद से ये सब चीजें ही शायद से प्रिपेयर्ड एक्शन में आती हैं, राइट? That's what we call prepared action. And apart from this, whenever you are giving answers, your confidence plays very important role. Confidence is a key. So there might be instances, हर क्वेश्चन का आंसर हर किसी को नहीं आ सकता. No one is prodigy, right? No one has answer to each and every question. So for instance, when Aditi asked me certain questions and I was not having response to those questions, I was like, ma'am, I don't know. This is not the way to answer. You are appearing for an interview and you are responding this to hiring manager. ये बहुत ही नेगेटिव इंप्रेशन शो करता है. इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट यू कुड हैव डन लाइक, वेल मैम, आई बिलीव आई डू नॉट हैव एनी आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन एज ऑफ नाउ. आई थिंक आई हैव टू रिकलेक्ट माय थॉट्स ऑन दैट. That's the better way to put it across, right? So that's how you can go about it. And apart from, yeah.
So on the question of what is your vision for the next 5 years about yourself, okay, so if you inculcate it with the company's vision, it will be very fruitful too. So what you have to do is, obviously you have to go to the company's website, okay? You have to research about yourself also. आपको whenever you are giving an interview, you have to dig deep yourself within yourself too. So आपको क्या करना है कि next 5 years में आप क्या what is your vision about yourself? You can have a rough picture of it, okay? Then you can see a website of the company and you can see ki what are the 2 to 3 values of the company. You can put that values in the 5 in the rough picture that you have for yourself, okay? Then whatever you're thinking for the next 2 to 3 years about getting trained into something, if you're not getting if you're not thinking, if there might be some of the areas where you think कि आपको training देनी चाहिए, you can put that into the next 5 year vision also. So जो आपका ये collective answer आएगा, it will be कि this is what I want to be in the next 5 years. This is where the company will also vision is about the company, and this is how I will get. Okay, so हम how पे काम करेंगे, where पे काम करेंगे, ठीक है कि एंड आप ऐसे कर सकते हैं कि आप इंटरव्यू में ये बोल सकते हैं कि हाँ मैं पर्टिकुलर ट्रेनिंग कर रहा हूँ, या फिर मैं पर्टिकुलर कोर्स करूंगा, या फिर मैं पर्टिकुलर वे से थ्रू एक्सपीरियंस करूंगा। आप ये भी बोल सकते हो आई बिलीव थ्रू दी exposure that I will get in the company, I'll be able to do this, I will be able to master this particular role. Okay, so this is how you put the for next 5 years what do you want to do.
Exactly. And there are certain common questions that is going to be asked in every interview, जो बहुत ही very common होते हैं since from its very nature, right? Like, tell me about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Where do you want to see yourself after 5 years? So these are very basic and very common questions, right? इसकी तो practice हम from the very beginning कर सकते हैं, right? In a structured manner. At the same point of time when you're just, giving interview, ये impression नहीं पड़ना चाहिए कि आपने वो रटे हैं आंसर्स, ठीक है, and you're just crammed it and doing it. It should not be like that, right? So उस पे हम practice कर सकते हैं beforehand. Some basic general questions जो कि होते हैं. So that's what I would like to add on. Yeah.
Okay, on the part of resume also, there's always the interview is after going through your resume also. So I would like to emphasize कि आप please resume में झूठ मत लिखना, ठीक है? Never lie on the resume. Okay, if you have any professional degree, obviously you should have some information about it. Okay, since if you have the HR, then you must have some information. Then if you have some technical course, आपको अपने कोर्स के बारे में पता होना चाहिए. I wouldn't say कि आपको बहुत in depth पता होना चाहिए, लेकिन आपको बेसिक चीजें पता होनी चाहिए अपने कोर्स के बारे में, ठीक है? आप it would be an added advantage to you if you have you are proficient in Excel, or basically MS Office. If you are proficient in this, आपको computer, because all of you know computer is the basic thing right now. You won't be able to do any work if it isn't for a computer. So आप बहुत ही confidently आपको ये होना चाहिए that you can work on the computer. If you do not, you're not confident, then I would suggest you to hone your skills over there and be confident on it. कि आपको you know how to write a mail, because it was and this is a personal experience for me. Interviewer asked me to write a mail. Okay. So आपको मेल्स लिखने आने चाहिए, ठीक है? आपको यू शुड बी कॉन्फिडेंट, तो आपको कुछ भी क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकते हैं और आपको इस चीज के लिए प्रिपेयर्ड रहना चाहिए. सो एक बेसिक क्वेश्चन हो गया, और बेसिक क्वेश्चन बेसिक एक्टिविटीज हो गई, लाइक ईमेल लिखना, ओके, लाइक कैलकुलेशंस करना, ठीक है? जैसे आपको एक्सेल में कैलकुलेशंस करनी पड़ती हैं. सो यू शुड नो लिटिल बिट अबाउट योरसेल्फ. आई एम नॉट सेइंग बिकम अ प्रो इन इट, बट हाँ, बेसिक is something that is required out of you.
Exactly. Basic Microsoft suite is very pivotal these days. It's a pivot, essential चीज है for in whichever role you apply. Microsoft Excel तो हर कहीं ही आपको use करना पड़ेगा. It's a pivot these days. Apart from this, basic computer knowledge plays very important role. Because आजकल जो भी काम है, we are, these days getting so much tech savvy, each and everyone. There have been companies who have been offering work from home. For that, you should have your own laptop system in place, knowledge of tech, how to operate it, and how to go about it. So that is something which one should know. So apart from this, any other question from your end, we would be happy to answer that.
There is a question on the chat box. It's given by Ribaline Lindorf. Her question is, could you provide some tips on clearing interviews for the freshers? Thank you.
Okay, so for the freshers, since we mentioned being an absolute fresher, you have nothing much to say when it comes to your work experience. And it's the very important tip that I would like to give. While Aditi was taking my interview, I mentioned that I'm an absolute fresher. मैं instead of saying that I'm an absolute fresher, I could have said that I did internships. Just tell about your internships, whatsoever projects you have done in your college time, so that it will showcase that instead of having that tag of fresher, interviewer will be in a position to understand that yes, since the person is fresher, but still that person has some amount of experience, be it internships, be it being a part of any sort of project. So that's how you can go about it when it comes to work experience.
Okay, even if you do not have any experience in internships or you do not have any experience in projects, then your basic interview goes as uh, what do you know? Can you tell me something about yourself? It goes as this, okay? Your name, where do you put up? What about your like about your education, okay? About your family and about your strength and weaknesses. There in this situation आप अपनी strength and weakness अपने आप ही बता देंगे without
Exactly.
asking.
Yes, and in such interviews, you will see there will be more behavioral and hypothetical questions instead of, based on your real life experience, right? So you have to prepare that accordingly. Okay. So that, I think that's an answer to that question. Apart from this, any other question?
Okay, for the freshers, I would say what you can do is apart from certifications or education or anything like that, what you can put up really good is on the question of where do you see yourself for the next 5 years. Okay, you can build it really well so that you get selected. Okay, so आपको इसके लिए you can Google it. Okay, you will get an amazing answers to it on the Quora. कि आप क्या बोल सकते हैं कि in the next 5 years where do you see yourself. Okay, so but keep in mind, even if you Google it, you have to alter it according to you. So don't say it as it is on the Google. Make it your own personal experience, and then you can say it in the interview.
Yes, and align that answer as per the company's mission and vision, because company wants to hear what you can bring to the table, right?
And this is a one tip that Anshul has been saying again and again. आपको before any kind of interview, आपको उसकी website पे जाना है. You have to see what the company has. Okay, it might happen, and I have this information कि people are interviewer asks, have you seen our website? Okay, and it will give a very wrong impression कि और especially ये freshers के लिए भी है कि because there is not much to ask, तो आपको वो पूछेंगे कि आपने कुछ अपना आपने हमारी वेबसाइट देखी है, ठीक है, और आपने या फिर व्हाट डू यू फाइंड इन आवर वेबसाइट, आपको क्या अच्छा लगा या क्या बुरा लगा हमारी वेबसाइट में. तो आप वेबसाइट जरूर देखिएगा. एंड इस चीज में बहुत ध्यान रखिएगा कि आपकी जो एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन है उससे आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछे जा सकते हैं. बिकॉज सिंस यू आर अ फ्रेशर, आपसे एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में तो ऑब्वियसली नहीं पूछा जाएगा, तो आपके एजुकेशन के बारे में पूछा जाएगा कि आपने अपनी एजुकेशन में क्या what were the benefits that came out of your education.
Exactly, and all the scenario primarily revolves around what you can bring to the table. That's it. Nothing beyond that. Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions for us?
अच्छा, आई हैव कपल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. एक तो ये कि बहुत सारे लोगों ने ये क्वेश्चन भेजा है, क्या हमें बहुत सारे लोग जो उनको इनविजुअल डिसेबिलिटी होती है, तो
Invisible, yes.
और बहुत सारे लोग जो लो विजन होते हैं जिनको ठीक ठाक दिखता है, तो क्या हमें अपनी डिसेबिलिटी डिस्क्लोज करनी चाहिए? क्योंकि कई बार ऐसे ना सिनेरियो होता है उनका कि उनको जॉब चाहिए होती है, उनको ये डर होता है कि अगर डिसेबिलिटी बताई तो नहीं रखेंगे.
Okay.
तो दूसरा एक कि कई लोगों का ये सवाल आया है कि कई बार हमारा जो रिज्यूमे है वो बहुत स्ट्रांग होता है, बट हम कम्युनिकेशन में स्ट्रगल करते हैं, तो ये कितनी बड़ी वीकनेस है?
Okay, so I would like to take the very first question. Should we reveal our disability or not? So, first of all, I would like to give this information. I myself is a person with low vision. Okay, so I am someone who's thriving with albinism. So basically, hota kya hai, as far as my experience are being concerned, whenever I have applied for any vacancy or, have applied for any sort of interview, so, telling about your disability is not a bad thing, firstly. ये कोई बुरी चीज नहीं है. You should take pride in it. That acceptance तो है आपको, self acceptance, but how come it's, making that hindrance to telling this people outside? No, you should not be hesitant about it. But there is a way to structure it and then present it. You cannot just go like, I am a person with low vision, this is my disability, I would like to tell you this. No. Instead of this, I would like to tell that, hi, my name is Anshul. I am a person thriving with low vision. Now, when I add thriving with low vision, that means I'm doing something wonderful, even having a low vision. Okay, so it goes without saying, recruiter have that, connotation in their mind. Okay, this guy has started with such a catchy line, right? You have to be catchy a little while you're starting when you're revealing your disability. And you should not be, really blunt when it comes to tell, for example, I have a locomotor disability, I have a low vision, I have a vision impairment. Just give them solution that while I am having a low vision, but there are certain assistive technologies which I can use. There are so many assistive technologies by using which I can do my work effortlessly without any trouble. So that's how you can go about it. So it's not a bad idea to disclose your disability. Okay. I would always suggest to go ahead and just share about your disability. But yes, there has to be an order in which you can go about it. And what was the second question? Sorry, I forgot.
प्रोफाइल बहुत स्ट्रांग हो लेकिन स्ट्रगलिंग हो कम्युनिकेशन में.
Okay, so since we are in this corporate sector, good English communication skills are very essential, right? Speaking in English, fluency in English, everyone wants. Corporate culture is all about that, first and foremost. But it's not completely true, it's partially true. You can go about, working upon your communication skills. Just focus upon your upskilling. If you feel like you're not that good when it comes to explaining certain things, just practice on it. And there is one deniable fact that communication skills, English communication skills is something which is self-taught. ये चीजें ऐसी होती है जो हम खुद से सीखते हैं. हम कितनी भी क्लासेस ले लें, हम कितनी भी ट्रेनिंग्स ले लें इसके रिगार्डिंग, नो, इट वुड नॉट गोइंग टू डू वंडर्स फॉर अस until and unless we start communicating more and more with people in English. Okay, वो एक हेजिटेशन जो होती है ना हमारे अंदर की, जो हमारे अंदर एक हिंड्रेंस होती है, एक बैरियर जो क्रिएट करती है. अरे मैं ये बोल दूंगा तो मे बी ये गलत हो, सामने वाला उससे कैसे जज हो जाएगा. दैट फियर ऑफ जजमेंट, यू हैव टू गेट रिड ऑफ दैट. Okay, you have to get rid of that fear of judgment कि सामने वाला क्या सोचेगा. What happened initially, you start with saying bad English, wrong English, but slowly and steadily, when you find that confidence in you, right, when you got the right guidance, people आपको correct करेंगे. अरे नहीं, तूने तो ये बोल दिया, instead of this ये होना चाहिए था. क्या हुआ? People are also, telling your flaws in order to correct you. So nothing bad in that. As far as the communication skills are being concerned, yes, it's a pivot in corporate culture. The only way to, go about it is to upskill yourself, try to communicate more and more in English with people. Self learning is very important when it comes to groom yourself in terms of communication. Okay. Aditi, do you
I
want
would also like to say something about the communication here. Supposedly, you have done everything and आपकी communication is not coming up to that mark कि you can say that someone selects me in the interview. You can, in a very mild way, ask in the interview that can we be bilingual? मैं bilingually बात कर सकता हूँ. So it will give you a space that if you need to speak in another language, you can speak or not. Okay. So आप ये बहुत mild way में बोल सकते हैं कि sir, please can I be bilingual? So इसमें एक आपका कॉन्फिडेंस भी लो नहीं होगा, ठीक है, फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट, एंड दूसरे पर्सन को भी पता चल जाएगा दैट यू आर कंफर्टेबल विद बोथ द लैंग्वेजेस. Okay, that how far you are comfortable with both the languages. But हाँ, आप कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं ड्रॉप होगा. अदरवाइज what happens is आप कम्युनिकेट एकदम से यू गेट स्टक और आपका कॉन्फिडेंस ड्रॉप हो जाता है. पर आप जब बायलिंगुअली बोल देते हो कि हम बायलिंगुअल हो सकते हैं, तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं जाता. आप उस कम्युनिकेशन के फ्लो को नहीं तोड़ते हो. एंड कम्युनिकेशन इज ऑल अबाउट फ्लो. Okay, if you have a smooth flow, your confidence will not get much.
Hi Aditi, hi Anshul, this is Divya. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this may be out of the box, but sometimes my acquaintances ask me, Divya, we are applying for search engine optimization or digital marketing role, right? But the point is, they ask us, abruptly, they just ask us, how many followers do you have on Instagram? Okay, so this is a very big problem in the present scenario because everybody is after the followership. No matter you have PhD, no matter what you have done in the past, but they will ask the number. So how to deal with this? This is very tricky. That's why I thought I should ask this. Over to you.
Okay, so as far as this digital marketing is being concerned, they are right.
Yeah.
So whenever we look digital market from an eagle point of view, what is it? Could you tell me what is digital marketing? What is the definition of digital marketing?
See, it's all about, if you are talking about a specific platform, these days we are mostly concerned about Instagram. It's booming,
No,
right?
I'm just asking you as of now, what is digital marketing? What do you understand?
To market the brand and the company in every possible way, and to bring it, if you combine it with SEO, to bring it in the first 5 or 6 links on Google or the similar, search results. So that is
Okay,
the
so
main.
So SEO stands for what does it stands for SEO? Do you have
Search
any
engine
idea?
optimization.
Yeah, it's very technical in nature, right? When it comes to marketing
exactly.
domain, right?
Yeah.
And as far as you mentioned that it's all about, advertising something, SEO is helping in terms of, ranking your website upper than than it was earlier, right?
Yeah, mainly on the first page of Google results.
First page. Yeah, so it helps in that. And
Yeah.
as far as you're asking, whenever I, apply for such kind of roles, people have been asking that how much followers do you have, right?
Exactly.
So digital marketing is something which is into the space of advertising, marketing something. And marketing will only be possible when you have good and more links.
Yeah,
Do you agree?
true.
Right? So
Yeah.
in order to see if you are passionate about this field, okay, that you would want to give it a try and you would want to get into this field, of course you have to work on your socialization, I would say.
Exactly.
The more social you can be, the more connections you build. It's marketing is all about building good connections, advertising advertising things at times.
Yeah.
So of course, people at times will ask you how much amount of followers do you have, but you can simply say that, like, are you into this field? I would like to ask that first.
See, no, by profession, I'm into corporate writing. It's something that most of my colleagues in the industry ask me, how do we go about this? Because I do mentorships on weekends. Okay, so I mentor people. So this is especially coming with people with vision impairment. When it comes to Instagram, it's getting accessible. I do use Instagram, but the point is, after a certain point, you can't just, have that much of followership, like in millions. The recruiters are often asking for 100K followers, 200K followers. That's the thing.
And no, I completely agree where you're coming from. And it's very unfortunate that people have been, strictly looking at digits or numbers, that what kind of followers that person has have. But we also at the same point of time understand that digital marketing is all about advertising and marketing certain channels. Right. So people, of course, everyone has their own preferences. Okay.
Exactly.
If some company is hiring for candidates, they have certain checkbox for themselves. Okay. Like we are going to hire people who is perhaps having 10K followers on Instagram. And at the same point of time, there have been companies who are hiring people who doesn't even has to do anything with Instagram or followers. Right. So
Okay.
either ways you will get people, but yes, it's a fact that people have been looking for followers when it comes to this digital marketing domain, and building more and more connections would work, I guess, wonders in
So
that.
is there, so
Hmm.
would you, can you please suggest me a way out to, to dodge it in a very polite yet subtle manner? So do you think we can just dodge it? Because this is something, it's not just limited to digital marketing
Okay.
these days.
Yeah.
It's
So digital
everywhere.
marketing is also, see, marketing is also about making strategies to make
Yeah,
the content viral, right?
yeah,
To
true.
spread awareness about something, right? So
Yeah,
what you can do is, you can, in a polite manner, you could have said that, like, since you can of course, you can, vouch on your skill set, what you have,
mm,
right? You can
exactly.
vouch
Yeah,
for your skill set, that these are the skill sets which I do have. I have strategic knowledge, right?
yeah,
I can have the content team, I can give the backup support to the marketing team, and once I have gotten into this field, and once I have around maybe 10 to 20 years of experience, I will be in a position whereby I have very good links and connections. You can just go
yeah.
about like this, that.
That helps. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
patient reply, Anshul.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
so I think, Anshul, that we are over the
Mhm.
time that we were supposed to have. So let's close on this. And if you have any questions, anything that concerns you, you can surely reach out to us. So Anshul, can you tell me where can they reach out to us?
Okay, so perhaps if you have any sort of questions, Anugya, can you please put in the email ID, or what is the best possible manner that they can connect with us?
Sure, I'll share the email again.
Okay, so Anugya will be sharing in the chat the medium to connect with us. Please, that's the possible way how you can connect with us. And if you have any further queries or doubts, we would be happy to answer. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. Thank you, Danish and team.
Okay, so let's close.
Yeah, Anugya, shall we close?
Thank
Yes.
you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.